Hello grass fans and welcome to week 3 of working from home ground care. Sorry I missed last week for anyone that was looking forward to it, but we're here again and this week we're talking all about moss and scarification. So first things first, we'll get the lawn cut. So it's got a bit long, a bit of debris from the dog and where we did a bit of weeding yesterday. So let's get that all sucked up and get it nice and short. So that's the lawn cut. We can have a little chat about moss. So moss, as you know, is a very low-lying plant which loves wet conditions. So this winter's been perfect for moss. It's been quite mild and really wet, so the moss has come through in loads of people's lawns, especially in shady areas. I'm quite lucky here that we haven't got a lot, but I've got enough to show you demo in a minute. But ideally you'd spray it off with iron sulfate. If you can access this and do it yourself, great, but if you can't, don't worry about it. It just takes a bit more elbow grease. And the weather we've had lately, especially here in the east where we're really dry, we haven't only rained for about 3 weeks to speak of, it's ideal now because all iron sulfate does is blacken it off and weakens the plant so you can get it out easier. But the moss doesn't like dry conditions. So now it's got nice and dry, the moss will be a bit weaker, so we'll be able to get it out of the ground a bit easier. So let's give you a quick demo of how we can do it. So we need to scarify the moss out of the bottom. Across sport fields from our business we use big tractor mounted machines which collect it all as you go. It's quite a quick, easy thing to do. You can get pedestrian scarifiers for your lawn. If you can access one of these, brilliant. If not, you can just use a trusty springtime rake. You see the tines here, as you scrape back, will lift it out the floor. You can use a solid rake if you want, but these can be quite aggressive. So you just might have to be a bit more careful when you use these on your lawn. So ideally, the springtime rake, and we can see we have a little patch of moss here in our shady area. It's only the only real patch in the lawn, which gets covered in the shade by this fence the whole time. Doesn't access the sun, stays really damp, so the moss loves it. But all we have to do, simply scratch away with the springtime rake and you can see all this lovely moss comes out. If you want to scrape it all up into a pile and collect it that way, you can. If not, just run the mower over it again and we'll soon suck it out. So scarification is not only good just for moss, it can improve the health of your turf massively. Hopefully you can see in here, this patch of grass in here is a bit lighter green and it's got these seeding heads on it. This is annual meadow grass. A lot of people in the sports world call it poa. Basically it's crap grass and we don't want it in your lawn. It's the light colouring firstly, so it doesn't look nice and dark green like you want. And it's susceptible to disease. It doesn't deal well with drought or cold conditions. So in the summer, in the winter, it will die off, making your lawn not look good through the whole time of the year. And because it seeds like this in low-lying areas, it can take over really quickly and cover your lawn. So you want to keep on top of this. So normal grasses like these ones next to it will survive scarification a lot better. This weaker grass, as you scarify it, hopefully you can see, we'll pull it up a bit, do it in a couple of directions. And it's not so much pulled it out, but it's made it stand up. So as we run the mower over this, we can chop all these seeds out so they don't land in the soil and grow again. So not only for annual meadow grass, if you've got a few areas, say like here, where you can see underneath the surface, there's quite a lot of dead grass in here. That's blocking the air getting to the bottom of the good grass, and if it just lays there, it will make a thatch layer which will hold onto moisture. Again, you get more disease and poor grass. So if we scratch this bit, you can see we get all this sort of dead material out the bottom. Again, suck it up, and what's left behind should be much healthier, greener grass. Air can get around the bottom of it. It'll have more room to grow and flourish, so it's good. And not only that, patch like this, I don't even know what this weed is, but these low-lying weeds, clover type sort of weeds, which often sit under where you mow and they don't get caught by the mower. If you scratch them up again, you'll see it really hasn't like that. Bits have come off, it's all standing up. So again, if you mow it, it will hopefully disappear out of your lawn. So again, while you don't want to do this when the grass is in too much stress, in dry conditions, there wants to be good recovery growth afterwards. But in the periods where the grass is growing really well, you could do this almost every 2 weeks and your grass would benefit massively. So we've scarified this whole area now. As you can see, the grass existing stood up and there's a lot of rubbish come out. So you can see all this stuff is all stuff you don't want in your lawn. So we'll suck this up with the mower and see what we get out of it. So as you can see, we're now cleared up with the mower. Done no real damage to the good grasses. And just a bit of comparison what came out is here is what came out of the first cut. So you see it's just nice green top growth of what's been growing. And the second cut, this is what's been coming out. A lot of dead material, a lot of rubbish. That's all really good to get this out your lawn, and your lawn will be much healthier for it. I deliberately did this today with the rain forecast tomorrow. You can see there's the odd patch getting a bit dry here. So if you don't get that rain tomorrow, I probably will have to put the water on next week, which is mad for April, but it's just the year we're in. So thanks for watching. Any questions, let me know, and we'll hopefully see you again next week. Say bye, Ferg. Wait. Hey, boy. Sit. Fergie, sit. Fergie. Sit. Sit. Fergie. Bang. Good boy.